New Artist Spotlight Podcast.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the New Artist Spotlight Podcast. I'm Wilko Wilkes and Origin Cross. He is just joining us in the nick of time. I thought he was late, so I thought we'd start without him, but here he is. And
starting without me. How's it going?
There we go. So good to see you, Origin, and good to see our guest today as well. Welcome to the show, Alessia Raisi. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you, guys. Thank you for this opportunity. Hi, everyone. In China, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m.
That's commitment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. It's really, but sounds good for us. I mean, ourselves, because we are used to be late in the night writing music or going back to a performance. So that's totally normal. But it's 3 a.m. here in Beijing.
Is that in your house?
Yeah. Yes.
Amazing. Yeah, it looks great. It looks like the sort of room where it could be 3 a.m. or it could be midday, and you.
I was still working before here with also the producer. We were finalizing the next song that it will be out on next Friday, the Italian version, then Chinese. But well.
So, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you're actually Italian, right? But your music is varied. So you have music in Italian and Chinese, like Spanish, like English, so many different languages. So how did you get one so well versed in all of those languages and immersed in all those different cultures? I guess give us a backstory on that.
Well, I'm in love of foreign languages till I was a child, let's say. And that's totally normally, let's say, for me to speak and write and writing music in many languages. It's my main passion, connected to, of course, the music. That is a part of my, let's say, background and my career, that a song probably maybe can start in one language, for example, English or Italian or whatever, and then it's something that come out naturally to adapt because I don't like to say translate. Usually I do adaptation of something, keeping the meaning, of course. It's mainly that is my passion. So connecting the foreign languages and writing music is the, let's say, the pinnacle, is what is the top for me. Is my pure passion, and every language is different. Singing is different one from the another one, and every single language is giving, less, of course, my opinion, my feelings, give me different feeling based on the sound and of the words. There are a lot of research, especially in the Chinese language. There are a lot of research when I write or adapt a song from one language to Chinese. My passion, pure passion.
You've helped me learn a different language as well, because there's a song of yours that I really like called Tutto Quello Che Voglio.
Oh, yeah.
I've had that in my playlist for a while, and it was today when I was preparing for the interview, I thought Origin usually does thorough preparation, so I should do some myself. So I actually just typed it into Google Translate and found out it means all I want
to be, all that I want to be.
Google Translate's not doing its job then. Or either that, or I can't read my own handwriting, which is more likely. But yeah, you've got some awesome tunes, and like your music is really professional. And obviously you can see from your studio that you've got a professional setup there. So like, do you work in music, or like how's your, and what are all the different pieces of music you do? What instruments do you play? Do you produce your own? Tell us a bit about that.
Sure. Well, I started at 6 when I was starting to play piano. I was stopping myself when I was in front of a piano or a musical instrument shop, and especially piano, because it's a kind of something magic. And then I grow up with many influences, let's say many music, many different music. For example, of course, rock and roll. My father was the first, he's a guitarist too, and he grew me up with such amazing band like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, or Boston, or we spent many time in the Saturday afternoon in the records shops. I'm crazy for vinyls. For example, we have, I think, not only myself, but I'm a generation that we have the culture of the vinyls, of the go to a shop to buy a vinyl or a CD later, and then go to have the paper and check the lyrics, and then to check the credits of a song, who was the drummer, who was the guitarist, and so on. So I'm totally crazy for that. So not only rock and roll, but I was also listening a lot of dance of the 80s, of the 70s, a lot of R&B, soul music. For example, I don't know, my queen is Aretha Franklin, just to say one singer. And then for dance, we are dance funky also. For example, I don't know, Kool and the Gang, or Hearth, Wind and Fire, something that is really Bee Gees. And then also, of course, a lot of Italian music too, because I'm Italian. We have plenty of songwriting singers in Italy that I grew up, but mainly it was, let's say, it was foreigner music I was listening the most. Latin America, they have diamonds also in the rock industry. For example, Soda Stereo, I'm crazy for them, and Gustavo Cerati. Then Charlie Garcia, Luis Alberto Spinetta. There are incredible rocking artists also in Latin America. And then I started to around 15 to, not like today that we are working with DAW like Pro Tools or Logic, but I was starting with Cakewalk and then GarageBand, and when I was 15. So now I'm 47, so 30 years ago, more or less. And I was starting... inside of me, I can say I always had half. I'm a woman, but I'm a man. I'm a man and a woman at the same time, because I really love what is surrounded in not pure songwriting, but also in the audio industry, like electronic or the informatic, or what is the audio industry. This is also maybe because of my father. Of course, I was playing with Barbie when I was a child, but I was also playing with electronic, for example, for electronic parts like valves for amplifier, transistors, something like that. So my half, that is I consider a man, is really deep in my let's say childness. That's why I really I was, after 15, 18, I was loading my car. I was going to perform in restaurant or bar, whatever. And I was setting up my speakers, my mixer. I was taking all the cables, whatever. It's really, let's say, a part of to be, let's say, a recording artist. It's not just I sing a song or I write a song, but it's a contour. It's something that is surrounded by this industry. It is fascinating me from when I'm a child. And then I started to write songs from when I was 15, let's say, and then I never stop. Sometimes, I'm forced to stop. It is a necessity to write music, like all the artists, I think. But I need to stop because it's continuously pushing out riffs or lyrics or ideas, because now the time is a little bit changed in the music industry. as we know, unfortunately, we have positive and, of course, also negative sides of this music industry in 2023. Positive, let's say, we can say that every artist now has the possibility to be heard and to tell something more about the music that the artist is writing. In the past, maybe it was much more difficult, because even if you have a contract with a major or something like that, or with a label, you was not heard. You had not the possibility to be heard. So let's say I always reply to myself to keep positive, the positive attitude toward this, and to spread good music as much as I can, for what I can. I don't like so many music, but it's still music, is still expression, even if I don't understand any genre of music. Let's say it's still expression, so must to be respected in some way. And well, yeah, about my influence, as I said before, I grow up with something that is really good, good music. I think it's really difficult nowadays to find songs like I don't know, just to mentioning. I don't know, I Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd, or Heroes, Bowie, or it's really difficult, or Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen, something really difficult.
I think every generation kind of has those artists where, as we grow up, we're always going to kind of see them as the pinnacle. But one thing I did want to touch on too, because you talk about the good side and the bad side of the music industry. I was reading through your Spotify, and I believe it said in 2015 you actually kind of like left the career to pursue music full time. So what was that? I guess kind of what was the kind of the safe career that you had, and then what made you make the switch over into full time, just being a musician?
Well, from my education origin, I can say that my education was really strict. Even if my music was rock music, music in my family was fluently from my father's side. It was a strict education with my grandmother. Music was not considered. Maybe it was the time in Italy, but I think it's not only Italy. I think it was mainly the concept of the 70s, of the 80s. Music cannot be a job. Music is a passion that you need to do it from in the evening if you want, or Saturday and Sunday during the weekends. So you need to think about, this is what is still sounding, is something inside of me that is still pushing, something that you have from the childness, and you still don't, I'm still not able to scrolling out. It's still on my DNA, it's still on my blood, something that you learn from or you absorb it still when you are a child. It's really difficult to abandon this feeling, or this is something that I'm still trying to pursue in these days, even if I'm not a child anymore. But education was strict, so the music is not a job, it's a passion. You can do it in the weekend or in the evening. I had a job. I was degree in foreign languages. I have the minimum idea to speak or to learn an Asian language. I started to speak and write Chinese when I arrived here in China in 2010. And by the way, I came to China not for music, but I came to China for logistic. Because my main career, let's say, was the serious job. It was doing logistics, so the freight forwarding industry. I was working in airports. I was loading every day. It was supposed that I was going to US. I was asking for LA, But at the end, they sent me to China because in China they wanted people with my skills, with that I can manage some loading of cars, racing cars, luxury cars in airplanes or inside the big vessels. So I have arrived here, and then here I totally quit the logistic industry in 2015. Still, when I'm when I'm 15, I write music. I go to perform. I do the artist, let's say, but for passion. Now it's a couple of years that I'm 100% in the music industry, doing any kind of things, not only just writing, but I'm doing production, arrangements, or any other things that is connected to the audio industry. Not only in the music, I study a lot to learn many technical things. I need to thank my producer, that is also my husband, Luca Bignardi. That together we are producing my music, my songs, and he's helping me a lot. Like many other people that they trust in my music, they like what I do, and they help me. I think all of you guys, we are in the same. In Italy, we have a proverb: "Siamo nella stessa barca." We say we are in the same boat, we are in the same vessel. That's mainly my career. I quit totally logistic. I was from 2015. I started also 3 years before the 2015. So 2012, I started to sing also in Chinese. That I was any fucking doubt to do. I mean, I was not thinking to write music even if in Chinese, but I did. It still sounds strange to me, but yeah, I'm doing that. And then let's say I'm trying to, after this strict education that I had, it's difficult to consider the music a job, because it's not a job. It's something that I can, like all of us, all in NAS family, we are, I suppose they are all fall in love about music. It's our life. So we are all in the same, at the same page. And that's also, let's say, curious is to say, my musical ambitions, or let's say what is a pinnacle for me. I think that there is not a pinnacle. There is no ambitions. I think that pinnacle doesn't exist, because I'm not searching for a pinnacle. I'm doing this. I'm really happy. I'm enjoying every piece of every piece of thing of music that I do. I enjoy also other music. I'm really selective in music. I'm really strict also in listening music, because music is something. Of course, this is my personal opinion. Music is something must to give me really strong vibes. Must really give me big impact, big emotion, and not all the music that is published today is give me this. There are really few songs, few artists that they are really inside my body. I don't know if you understand me, but it's something really serious. It's really something really important.
I definitely agree with that. Like, I think my favorite artists as well are like artists that really go hard, and like, same with vocals. I want to hear people screaming, and I want to hear people like, I want to hear big drums. I want to hear all sorts, like just a max. Yeah, and that's what I like about your tracks. You can tell it goes hard a lot of the time, and you've got a nice variation as well. Like, you've got a lot of rock in there, but you've got the dance. I can hear you from when you talk about your influences. You can hear it all in your music. There's a little bit of like sort of Alanis Morissette vibe to your vocals sometimes. There's a little bit of Liz James sprinkled in there. There's a bit
Yeah.
of it.
Here, Wilko, of course, if we are talking about the sad side, that is, they are calling me to sing whatever. Here, I can go to sing opera. Of course, I sing opera. I don't have a voice of opera, but I'm a soprano voice. I very deep low basses and very high frequencies. Like a soprano, I can sing opera songs. I can sing Latin music, jazz. It's really tough. Tough not for the performance, because I can sing jazz, for example, but it's not giving me any. It's really difficult. I really enjoy when usually my grandmother said, you are enjoying singing when you are screaming. It's not screaming. It's like that I need strong like for example, now I'm crazy for the Extreme, the new album 6. That's completely insane. It's something that from the track number 1 till the last one is something incredible. Also, now I'm talking to you about this album. I have my blood that is boiling. It's really something that's so energetic, so full of riff. Nuno is really amazing in not doing the tapping, but doing the low riff in the background. It's a machine. The guitar, even if I don't play guitar, the guitar is something that is really important. I'm really exigent in the guitar, especially in my songs. The guitar is the most musical instrument in my songs that till the end in the production process is causing me a lot of anxiety, because I don't know if you also have this kind of feeling, but I stay with the guitarist when we are recording. I give my idea, the tone of how I would like they play with my voice, because I cannot play a guitar, so it's really difficult. But anyway, in the production process, is really, the guitar is really important, has a very, very high important. Of course, also the vocal. Yeah, the vocal is another thing. I'm doing many background vocals. Many background vocals. All the background vocals that you listen is not the double vocal. Is not. There are not plugins. It's all vocals done by me. So it's really hard work.
That's awesome.
And in the
Nice when it all comes together, though, isn't it? Yeah, brilliant.
It's really hard work. Really, really hard work.
So we've got to the show now. You might be familiar with. It's Dastardly. It's evil. It's not good. It's the new Art Spotlight Quickfire 5. Are you familiar with the rules? So you've got no more than 15 seconds to answer each of these questions, and we can throw whatever we like at you. It might not be the ones that we sent. So
okay.
You want to go first, Origin?
Question number 1. What is your favorite song from the New Art Spotlight playlist?
Well, I have a few, but let's say that my top one is Epoch 2140 of Mercury Teardrop of Brad.
Yeah, we've worked with him. He's a great artist.
Thanks, Brad. That you are looking probably this. Thank you for writing such a fucking awesome song. That be ready, because I already adapted a little bit in Chinese.
Nice.
Your Epoch. Yes.
Question 2 is, what song would you like to be played at your funeral?
Heroes, Bowie.
Question 3, if you could have the singing voice of any other artist on the planet, whose would you pick?
I have three singers. Let's say the first one is Aretha Franklin, then Steven Tyler, because really, guys, I really would like to feel how Steven is feeling the voice in the throat. That's incredible. Steven Tyler, Aerosmith, and also, of course, Bowie. I really would like to know, to feel the vocal chord of the low basis frequencies of David Bowie.
Okay. Question 4 is, what is the cheesiest song that you love?
More Than Words, Extreme.
And then question 5, if you could spend a day with any other new artist spotlight artist, who would you pick?
I can say everyone. Everyone, because everything I cannot, I cannot, but really it's like this. There is, of course, 1, 2, 3. The one is Brad, is Mercury. I really would like to spend some time with him in studio and doing some, creating some awesome music with the 2 Hot Dogs. Charles Connolly also, but I mean, all of you like Don Piper, like Mix, everyone, Bluestrainer, because every
way
single
too many answers. I think you're disqualified now.
Yeah,
no, because every single artist.
It was a great answer. You have been hereby banned from the New Artist Spotlight podcast because you were over 15 seconds. So thank you for some great answers, but you have now been banned. I don't know if we banned many people, but how do you feel?
There's a few, but we're running a long time. So we definitely want to give you the opportunity to give us a quick introduction of the song that we're going to play for your day.
Well, a small introduction. Yeah, the song we play tonight, it will be All That I Wanna Be, that you can find in Rock album, released last year, 9 of September. Well, All That I Wanna Be is something that is pure energy. Pure energy you need to think about to jump on a comet where it's full of little stars shining. And you are giving so much energy to the world, to the people, because we need to crash the barriers. The message is we need to give energy to the people because we need energy. And I'm trying to do it as much as I can with the songs and with all the instruments. And then the message, fundamental message is that we grow up as in the childness with limits. Limits are in the head, but we don't have these limits. We only created by the limits are created by the environment we are surrounded by, people, by our childness, by our teacher, our parents. Everybody has building, let's say, kind of limits. And we can crash a limit that is a barrier, and we need to try to release ourselves. This is the message. We need to try to release ourselves, because if we release ourselves in some way, creating with the fantasy, taking out the superpower that every human being has, because every human being has a superpower, more than one also inside of him or her. Of us, and we can take it out and we can release ourselves, and after that you have the real possession of your real I, let's say, the real me, and that's you crash the barrier, you crash the limits. And this is All That I Wanna Be of Alessia Raisi.
I see the light in your eyes day after day. I wonder if it's alright, maybe in the right place. Never little. I know you are. I believe in you. I feel it now.
it's been a pleasure having you on. Well, I would say we'll have to get you on again, but you've been banned for failing the 15-second rule on the quick fire 5. But no, it's been great to meet you. Have you got any sort of final shout outs, or do you want to shout out your social media?
Yes, of course. My surname, Alessia Raisi. You can find my website, www.alessiaraisi.com. You find everything. All my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, and then listen my music in Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, all the Chinese platforms and social network, Weibo, Xiaohongshu, Bilibili, Douyin, and so on. So you can find me everywhere. And be ready, guys, to all the NAS family artists, because I'm translating or adapting, as you want, a bit of your songs in Chinese, so everybody can also listen here and can understand your beautiful lyrics also. So be ready. Be ready. I already translated something.
So yeah, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you, Alessia. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Ciao, guys. Ciao,
Take
ciao.
care. Nice to meet you.
Ciao.
New Artist Spotlight Podcast.